Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this session of Hearts of Iron 4, where we are playing Man the Guns with what I have to say is one of the most interesting new features of this, and that is basically the Exile governments. And we are playing as Poland, but as you can see, there seems to be something missing in Poland, namely Poland. But we did manage to escape. We are still alive. We now have the exiled status, governments in exile mechanics active, and we are currently fortifying Paris. We are trying to keep France fighting for as long as we possibly can. We have our home now in the UK. We're being hosted by the UK, which interestingly gives Britain some bonuses. We have a very high legitimacy, which has allowed me to get basically all of the modifiers for Poland already. We've switched our government to Sigorski, and we have a pretty high amount of manpower, basically people that fled from Poland when it fell, plus the troops that we managed to evacuate. There aren't as many of those as I would have liked, but certainly still enough to make a difference. Like when I first did this in my post-release game, so when the original game was released, I think I had 11 divisions. We currently have 16, 17, 18, 19 divisions total, plus the 3 divisions which the British kinda sorta gave us. They're Polish exiles who joined the British, who the Britain then gave back to Poland and is now retaking from us. So that one's a little bit derpy, but we're still in the war. We have not given up. The one thing which we could probably struggle with is going to be equipment. We have a lot of manpower, but we don't have a huge number of guns, and I'm hoping that we can secure Lend-Lease from people at some point. We've actually contributed 23% towards this war. That's a huge amount. Interesting. The thing I just remembered is I do actually have an airforce still. So we could grab these two. Can I merge you? Can. And I will. How many aeroplanes do I even have? Not many. And this one is completely dead, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and disband that one. This one still has 44 planes. I think what I'm going to do is base you here and then attach you to them. And that way my air force can still contribute. And they'll be in friendly territory, so if they do get shot down, they will probably return to us. How close is France to capitulation? They are not far away, so we do need to keep an eye on that, especially if they lose, say, the southern area, or if they get cut off, like right here, which they are about to. So France, you need to attack these guys and stop them cutting you off, otherwise all of this is basically dead. Although I have to say, my holding on to Paris here is giving the French forces quite a lot of time to rearrange and hopefully blunt this counterattack. And also, we've just kept you alive. Like, that's a kind of a big deal. The bomb. The cryptographic bomb is a development of the cyclometer and allows us to decipher progressively more advanced versions of the German Enigma cipher. So we could get the cyclometer at this point, which will allow me to get more encryption and decryption. It also hilariously leads on to Atomic Physics Institute really early. Unfortunately, we are not going to be able to get the additional research slot 2 because we're going to need 50 factories. We currently have 6. All of those being in Danzig, which is probably not going to hold for that much longer. So let's go ahead and do that. Or is there anything else we want? Army modernization, which give me research bonuses. So with that, we could get motorized and mechanized potentially with this line. We could upgrade Poland. I don't think we want to do that. Air innovations. Maybe we do want to do air innovations. That's an interesting idea. And we could also send more volunteers, though at this point I don't think there's going to be very many volunteers required. Or we could work on some of these. Unfortunately, we don't have any production, so none of that stuff's going to be particularly useful. Factory repair speed, free repair, no. Resistance growth reduced. If there was a resistance increase, then that would be good. But unfortunately there isn't. Alright, let's do this. And hello everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Well, is that Danzig still standing? Yep, Danzig is still alive, being held by 5 very brave British divisions. And they are basically powering the entire Polish economy right now. How exactly we're getting those resources out of there, I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to cancel your fallback line, and I'm going to make this into a regular old front line with actual objectives. Namely, to retake the rivers. Just so we can start building up some planning preparation. In case something positive does happen, we have an opportunity to counterattack. Naval result, defeat up here. Did I lose my submarine? No. I still have my one Polish submarine still kicking her alive and kicking and stuff. And 2 more infantry units are almost ready for deployment. Cool. Pretty funny that Germany takes everything except for Danzig. It's because we did such a great job holding on to it. Second Vienna Award. A treaty has been signed at Vienna following the German arbitration that will see northern Transylvania restored to Hungarian rule. The territory had previously been awarded to the Kingdom of Romania upon the conclusion of World War I, leading to a bitter dispute. Does that mean that Romania is now less likely to join the Axis? Seeing as they just had to give that up. That's a pretty chunk of territory too. What are the Soviets doing at this juncture? The transformation of nature. Oh, it increases the amount of rubber they have. And that's basically the end of their development phase. Did they ever do the purge? I'm actually sure that they did. They did. And that's going to go away in a year and a half. Okay. Meanwhile, France holds. France is holding somehow. Pulling troops away from Maginot and basically holding on to this. But it looks like we have actually managed to more or less stifle the dig into this land. And now I suspect that Germany is kind of finding themselves overextended. Although Italy is slowly pushing their way over the Alps. The French have had to redeploy a lot of their Alpine troops away. I think if I was France, I'd probably actually just give this land up and try and establish a more cohesive front line so you didn't have quite so many troops spread out over such a large area. Yes, we need to continue watching this because, oh dear, that's getting really rather concerning. Paris will hold. As long as the Poles draw breath, Paris will hold. What's the last alert icon? That's because Britain's calling my expeditionary troops back. These guys, these guys. Amiens has just fallen. France is about to capitulate. Right, it's time to leave. So you turn around and go home. You cancel that. And I want you to strategic redeploy to Dieppe. Dieppe, that's there. We've been here before, we know how this works. Thankfully this isn't quite as far as going all the way through the Baltic. Treaty of Craiova. More concessions have been forced on the Kingdom of Romania, with Bulgaria reclaiming southern Dobruja. Territory was annexed by Romania in 1913. Germany's basically just denying themselves fuel supplies, which is an interesting choice, I must say. How come you guys are so low in organisation? No, I guess it's because he did just flip. Run. I need you to get back to Portsmouth soon. I made a very good decision running to Dieppe. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on. The fall of Paris. While the fighting still rages elsewhere in Free France, reports have come in of German troops entering Paris. So much for Paris won't fall while the Poles draw breath. Well, I did my job. It's the French who failed. Alright. I'm gonna get the 2 mountain troops out because those guys are super valuable. I could really do with more convoys. Now, I know that I can get 10 men out at a time. Oh, 7 men out at a time. So if these guys can hold until that point. In fact, let's last stand right now. Because that's going to preserve their organization until I am ready to escape, once these guys have landed. Come on. Come on. There you go. Go for my convoys. Oh, no, you don't. What's that saying? Currently a war, transports risk being sunk. Yes, I know. Thank you. 5 more days in which we can do a ton of damage. These icons are covering up the port levels. Yeah, not going to be able to do that until this actually runs out, so I'll need to be ready to press that button as soon as I can. 2 days. Let's see exactly what hour the ticker goes. Oh, it actually says number of hours. Okay, that's cool. Oh, they did it themselves. Cool. And there we go. We have escaped. No losses. Except, did we lose one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think we lost one division, actually. You, meanwhile, are fully drilled. Those guys are still training. We have 1 expeditionary force. I don't know when these guys are being called back, though. And they tried to bomb my convoys again, but they failed. Alright, so we did successfully escape the clutches of the Nazis for a 3rd time. And now I need to start thinking about where I want the next phase to be. We do still have equipment. Like, I don't want to just waste it. I don't want to squander that gear. The other thing we could try to do is reinforce Danzig. Because these 5 are going to be under a lot of pressure here. And in fact, so long as these attacks just continue, that pressure will be unending. This is where the war in Africa begins, I guess. Although Libya's already fallen, Ethiopia is about to fall. I can't really see what the Axis powers are going to do. The time that we bought in Poland and in France, the Allies have actually used very well to secure Africa. Oh, something's just happened. Nation Française has declared war on the Free France. Wait, Française, that's not Vichy. It is Vichy. The second armistice at Compiègne. An armistice between the German Reich and the French Third Republic has been signed at Compiègne, in the very railway carriage in which the German surrender of World War I was negotiated. So where do I go from here? A lot of people are saying Africa, but Africa is just a haven for attrition. And there is one thing which I cannot afford to take, and that's attrition. So I'm going to leave Africa for those who still have a country. The death of Rudolf Hess. Deputy Führer Rudolf Hess was killed yesterday when the Royal Air Force intercepted the heavy fighter who was flying off the coast of Scotland. The exact nature of his mission remains unclear, although Hess was an accomplished pilot. He flew alone and his airplane does not appear to have been armed. I think I might just hang out in England for a bit until I see an opportunity. So let's speed this up to speed 4. How's Japan doing against the Chinese? Not great. Soviet Union and Finland have signed a white peace. The Winter War was won by the Finns. Well done, Finland. Yeah, that China is not looking too healthy, so I suspect that this is going to be another Japanese victory. We could try and fight in Indonesia, but again, I suspect that's going to be a lot of attrition. So I don't really want to. We're still doing the war propaganda, which is going to be boosting my war support, which is going up really quite a lot. And we have quite a lot of experience that we could spend on doctrines if we needed to. I don't think the troops need training. That one does. Most of them aren't going to gain anything from training though, and I need to be careful with training because that's going to use up a lot of my weapons. So I kind of want to keep my training to an absolute minimum where possible. How much experience did you get, Wisniewski? I wonder if Exile Division's attack stacks with the own Exile Divisions. So because he's got these two, which are Exile Divisions fighting for me right now, I wonder if that counts as a 15. Not sure. Sikorsky could actually upgrade. Improved artillery is done. Oops. Details. Details are what I wanted. Current progress, 28%. Could have sworn it told us here. Apparently not. 28%. And you do have a trait that you could get. I think I'll hold off. Hold off until we get some more experience. Right, so we have another research slot. It is now 1940. So we could get upgraded AT, but we wouldn't be able to produce it even if we had it. So, Britain, how about some of that, you know, Lend-Lease? Insufficient equipment, or we have too much equipment in stockpile. So I think they're not going to give me Lend-Lease while I have positive equipment. Well, I could change up my division templates a little bit. Like these guys especially want engineers. They want support artillery and field hospitals. So now hopefully if I do this I can get some free motorized. And one more unit of mountaineers just to get that combat width rounded out. How about it? Alright, so I have a full unit. I think I am still going to upgrade these guys with field hospitals and with support AT. When I do this, come on, offer me Lend-Lease, because I am now very short on motorized and AT. Come on. They don't have sufficient, or we have too much equipment in stockpile. But I don't! That's kind of the point here. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the... Nope, we've lost Danzig. Damn. So we're going to need to try and secure some territory somewhere else. Now, if I was on the Axis side, I would just request Belgium or something, but we're not. And we've only actually lost territory, not gained anything. Oh, my submarine sank a convoy! Get in! We're helping! You're never going to do it, are you? No. You can't request from puppets. What about Free France? Well, actually, Vichy France is still going to be fighting, aren't they? So there is a war going on. Except this is just going to be returned to Free France, but I can contribute that way. I think I'm going to leave Africa to these guys. Is there anywhere with decent factories? Or factories full stop? What about Sierra Leone? No, it has to be stuff taken from them. Could try and take, like, Damascus or something. I'd gladly hold on to that for you. Or Lebanon. Let's see if I can get Lebanon. Maybe we'll fight in the Middle East. Alright, so we have Damascus, so we can actually get a little bit of production going from here. And we will need to build stuff, but hey, we can do that. It's gonna have to be military factories, really. Except it can't be, because we have no civilian factories at all. So that's absolutely no help. Great. Alright, well, in that case, let's load up our troops on ships. This is a little risky. Oh, now we need training again. Well, let's get the guys who are trained all the way around. Let's split these away. Then have you sail down to, say, Gibraltar. Balkans, Albania. Yeah, it is still held. They would accept it. No, I'm not going to be that close to enemy bomber. Like, I need to be very careful about what I choose. Also, I have to say, Bay of Biscay, let's avoid that one. Because the last thing I can do is afford to lose convoys, which we are losing right now. Alright, what's next? Let's get... artillery modernization. How many ships are we talking about here? Yeah, see, there's a lot. We need the Allies to secure the Mediterranean. So let's not get hasty. Let's let the Royal Navy and the French remnants do their thing for a bit longer. And then we'll sail over there. One thing I would like to get, actually, are military police, because we're going to need those. Wait, how do I lose a convoy here? I'm not trading, am I? No. So how on earth did I lose a convoy all the way over here? Ten British submarines. All of this. This is what I need to be wary of. I mean, I could try to do a naval invasion over to, like, here. Casablanca. This isn't Free France, this is just Vichy. I could take this. Oh, here comes the Royal Navy. That's literally the home fleet. Oh, where are you going? Oh, you're going up that way. Yeah, you know what? We're going to do this. You guys are going to prepare naval invasion from Gibraltar into Casablanca. Why can't I? I probably don't have any naval invasion tech, do I? Nope. Well, let's make sure we get some naval invasion tech, and then we're going to cancel that, because that's a silly idea. Who came up with that idea? Awful. Awful. Oh, it could be supply from the capital. Yeah, you're not wrong. Come on, home fleet. Attack this fleet. They're just sitting right here, stopping me from getting in. Although I guess... Haha, there's another way in. Of course there is. There's always another way in. If we go and sail down to here, then we're going to take a train all the way across Central Africa. German interest in Scandinavia. German rhetoric has intensified towards the northern countries in recent weeks. The message is clear. Denmark and Norway must in no way, whether by opposition or inaction, hamper German imports. No, they're just about to. See? Always join the Allies.